and welcome to week 14, the final week of this course. At this point, you're either well prepared, making a fine-tuning on your resume project, probably already finished up the Dreamweaver project, and you are maybe taking a few extra minutes to get some extra credit done. On the other hand, perhaps it's been a difficult crush of a semester, and for many of you that will be the case, and you're just trying to get your resume done and partly finish Dreamweaver, and so on. Either way, let me suggest some priorities. The resume, which is due on the last day of this week, so it's due on Friday. And by the way, you'll notice that the week 14 is kind of slim looking right now. I will probably be moving some of the Dropbox's assignment upload folders from previous weeks down here, things that were actually due this week, like Dreamweaver, which is due on Wednesday, and the final resume, which is due on Friday. And then the extra credit that was due by the end of the semester, all that stuff will be due this week. So those of you who are struggling with the last minute, I suggest your priority should be this. Get as much of the resume done as possible. That should be your first priority. At least get the minimum parts done and make it all work and pull it together nicely, and even spend a little extra time if you can find time somewhere to add a few extra touches. Don't wait till the last couple of days of the week. If you're having problems and things aren't working, get a hold of me as soon as you can, and I can look at your files, we can talk on Zoom or in person or something and get you straightened out. Sometimes a big project, the resume project, might seem like a little overwhelming if you think of it all at once. But honestly, there's not very much text. There's not that much code. If you actually look at the amount of total work you could do, you could actually have just pulled this resume all together in a few hours. So it's just been different because you've been learning it as you've been building it. So the resume should be the first priority. Second priority, I would say to do as much of Dreamweaver as you can. If you can't finish it, don't let it ruin your resume. Just get as much as you can reasonably get done. If you can finish it, great. If you're getting towards the end and things are just not working at all, as I said in my earlier instructions, please just try to get to the end of a part, like the end of part 5 or end of part 6, for instance, and then get in touch with me. I'll have you zip up the files that you have so far and send them to me, and I'll look at them and try to straighten you out. And honestly, just getting through part 5 or part 6 pretty much complete is going to be well worth it as far as your grade goes. Finally, if you have those things well in hand, then I do encourage you to think about the extra credit. Go back to do some of the extra credit. Some of it was more ambitious than others. There's a couple of extra credits that you had till the end of the semester to do. I would say the image 3 is one you certainly could do. So go back and do those. Do you have any other overdue late work you want to try to get in? Get in touch with me if it's quite old, if it's been from early in the semester, and I may or may not allow it to be done. However, if it's pretty recent, I will allow you to still submit late work in most cases with, of course, points deducted. But it's still worth it to do that. Finally, what about preparation for the final exam? Well, I'm going to probably wait and do another video about that when the final exam date is set and so on. But let me just give you an overall idea. The final exam is going to be based on all your previous quizzes. So you definitely have that feedback from those, right? So you should go through those and make sure you have the correct answers written in on those, so you know what's going on there. And then there's been 2 chunks of stuff since that you will find. And you'll find the possible final exam questions in the presentations. The presentation on publishing your website, which was in the presentation folder from week 13. And at the end of the giant Dreamweaver tutorial, there's a few questions listed regarding Dreamweaver. So those are the only additional things that you haven't seen yet that could be on the final exam. But the final exam is not really pulled together yet, and the date is not set at this time when I'm doing this recording, and so on. Otherwise, if you look at the week 14 area here, there's not very much. There's no reading, just some reminders. Nothing really at this point in the presentations or resources folder. There may be a few more folders here when you get here, but otherwise I'd say it's really important at this point to pull together what you can, realize that even if you had a difficult semester, you need to stay in touch with me to find out how you can get through this class if you're having problems, or to find out how you can fine-tune and get a really good grade if you've been doing well. And then hopefully you'll use this experience to maybe even consider joining one of our minors that uses web design, or perhaps joining a major that uses web design. Or if you want to know more about more advanced classes you could take next, get in touch with me and I'll talk with you about that too. So I've had a great semester doing this with you. So keep up the good work and stay in touch.